Hello, everybody, and welcome to Championship Soccer Stadium in Irvine, California. A big tilt tonight in the Western Conference of the USL Championship as Red Hot Orange County takes on playoff-pushing Colorado Springs Switchbacks. It's presented by Taqueria Oy, Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez-Espin here with you. This is what it means in the IPA Physio Western Conference standings. Orange County are in third place, trying to push for the top two spots and continue to push for home field advantage in the playoffs. The Switchbacks just want to be in the dance and get into the top 8 and make a late push for that postseason spot. And of course, we start, Ricky, by looking at the Red Hot Orange County boys, unbeaten in their last 9. And it's just so surprising to see the turnaround from this team, where they were moments ago and now how full of confidence they are. We had the ability to talk to Warren Carlson and say, why you've been so successful? And it was just so simple in his answer. We've been hungry, we've stayed motivated, we have not let complacency creep in. On both sides of the ball, they're playing terrific football, Sean. And of course, the big news surrounding Orange County this week is that their talisman, Milan Alaski, has agreed to join FC Nordsjælland in the Danish Superliga. It's going to take place in January of 2024 when the season is over. He's been so good these last couple of seasons. Of course, the Golden Boot winner a year ago in the USL Championship. He's having another tremendous season, and he's our Omega Accounting's player to watch tonight. And he's such a complete player, the ability to create on his own, but also to bring players in. He's going to start in this left-hand side, but he has the freedom to roam between lines. You want him all on the ball early and often. If you're Orange County, asking questions of this back line of the Switchbacks and putting them under a lot of pressure from minute 1. And on the other side of the coin, the opponents for Orange County are Colorado Springs Switchbacks, coming off a decent result against San Antonio with a late equalizer last time out. And Stephen Hogan is very pleased just to match the intensity of the reigning champions. It's not a very difficult feat to go head-to-head, but then you have to earn the right to play football. So the head coach for the Switchbacks was very pleased at how the boys started and also to get a really good deserved draw at home. Yeah, the teenager Marco Rios with the late equalizer. And the Switchbacks were able to get a draw at home late against the defending champions to stay in the hunt for a postseason spot. And they're going to hope tonight that Romario Williams will be a big part of their attacking threat. And you want him to stay high. You want him to occupy the two center backs. But whether it's popping into the hole, whether it's holding the ball, but also spinning in behind and running into channels, he needs to be very confident. But the question for Stephen Hogan and the Switchbacks is how clinical can he be around the 18-yard box? And what does the service look like into your big man up front? Well, you never know. There's so many twists and turns still to come in these Western Conference games down the stretch. This could be an early postseason preview. You never know. They met in the playoffs a couple of seasons ago. We're in for a good one tonight in Irvine, California. Orange County takes on Colorado Springs, and the kickoff is next.
From north to south,
east to west,
from Laguna Beach to Irvine,
de Buena Park a San Clemente,
and all 34 cities in between.
For the last 10 years, this has been
Orange County's own
entertainment, community,
Campeones, colors,
Crest Pro Soccer Club.
Orange County's own community kit.
A few years ago, I was making cabinets and somebody gave this idea like, hey, why don't you make your beautiful doors to fit IKEA cabinets?
You know, we care about everything that goes into making a door or a panel or a cabinet. Designing a kitchen or even remodeling it, it's a difficult process. We're here to kind of bridge that gap between the vision and realizing that goal.
We're able to make everything in-house, handmade, handcrafted, beautiful product.
This match is presented by Taqueria Oy, the official taco of OCSC. By Hogue, the official hospital and healthcare partner of OCSC. And by Omega Accounting Solutions, your ERC and tax specialist today, your trusted advisor tomorrow. Sean and Ricky back here with you. Let's jump into the starting lineups for both teams. Both are brought to you by Kimco Staffing. Interim coach Morten Carlson's red-hot Orange County 11 is set up like this.
And it all comes about fluidity. Thomas Among, he's going to stay high, and he's going to occupy the two center backs. You're going to see Alaska on this left-hand side. He's going to come centrally, and Brian Alaska on the right-hand side. He's going to put forward as he sees fit in that middle three. How quickly can they get in a rhythm, dictate tempo here for Morten Carlson, because the first 10 to 15 minutes for this side is going to be extremely important for the home side.
On the other side of things for the Switchbacks, Stephen Hogan's boys could really use 3 points tonight. Here's the 11 that's going to try to get the job done.
And again, I think it starts in the middle of the park, whether it's Jay Chapman, Speedy Williams, and Echeverria. What does that look like in terms of their relationship and having the support system under Romario Williams? You have Tejada and Beckford. They're going to provide the width, but they're also going to create overloads going forward. Lacroix and Skonders have to be very good in picking their choosing their times when they go forward, but also drop down and do their defensive duties.
We're excited for it. It's going to be a really interesting matchup to take in. There's no question about that. 9 games unbeaten for Orange County. They're the hottest team in the USL Championship coming into this evening's game against the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, who have had a bit of an up and down season, but hoping that they're going to trend in the upward direction at the right time. Sergei Demyanchuk is our center official in Irvine. And it's Orange County in their orange kits who will be kicking us off from left to right here on ESPN+. The Switchbacks are in their light blues with the white shorts. Brian Alosky gets us started from Championship Soccer Stadium. Orange County starts with possession. And they also start the night with the number 3 seed in the Western Conference. The Switchbacks currently sit in 8th. They defend off multiple teams behind them, trying to catch them for the final playoff spot in the wild and wacky Western Conference in the USL Championship. It always tends to be tight at the latter part of the regular season in the West. And this game could certainly be a table setter for the final few weeks of the season, with the Switchbacks just about playing themselves out of trouble at the back. Can the Switchbacks stop the 9-game unbeaten run that Orange County's put together? Put together another strong result after getting a draw against the champions last time out. Orange County had an 8-game winning streak going into the game against El Paso, which they drew last time out. But Morten Carlson and Orange County are confident that they continue to surge and potentially surge up the table as they try to chase down the likes of San Antonio and Sac Republic. These two teams met in the playoffs a couple of seasons ago. Orange County won that game by 1-0. They went on to win the championship that season. We'll see how this one plays out tonight. Thomas Among is on the attack here for Orange County. Placing a lovely ball out to this far side. There's numbers coming in. Milan Alaski arrives and skies his first chance of the night out for a goal kick.
When you talk about balance for the Switchbacks in that back line, you always want to be a +1 as one player goes up to rise for the challenge. The other two need to provide that coverage, but Langford does extremely well. There's information on this ball, just rolls it into the path of Milan Alaski and says you need to hit this first time. We talked about him on the heels of moving over to Europe in the January window. He knows he should be doing better with the quality that he has. Big opportunity for Orange County to draw first blood that goes begging.
We talked about it at the Open, the big move that's upcoming for Milan Alaski, FC Nordsjælland, the Danish Superliga. It's going to happen in January of 2024 officially, so it's going to be his last season in the USL Championship. He's hoping to make it a memorable one for Orange County, who would be in search of winning their 2nd title in 3 seasons. I'm not sure many people had that back in June when these two last met. Switchbacks won in the first game of the season between these two by 4-0 back on June 10th. It was a totally different time in the league for both of these two teams. And well, since that man's taken over for Orange County, things have changed. And we talked about it, talked with Morten Carlson, the head coach of Orange County, interim coach, about what changed. And just said it was about defining roles for the group. And since they've been able to get into a bit of a routine as far as the way training's expected to go, the games are expected to go, and the style of play, said it took a couple of weeks to get it down. Boy, have they gotten it down the last few months of the season, and there's no hotter team than Orange County, and Orange County still has a chance, of course, to finish top of the West.
I think you know better than me, Sean. When you're comfortable, you're playing at your best. When you're happy, you're playing at your best. And I think that's something that Morten Carlson has his fingerprint.
Well, Mong, in the meantime, tries to take aim. The former San Diego Loyal man puts it wide.
And just has his fingerprints all over the locker room to get the best out of each individual player, to understand their role. When you walk across that white line, you know what's expected of them. When you give the freedom to your special players up front, you really see them express themselves in that final third. So we talk about the fluidity. I mean, we're 4 minutes in. Langford, he's been terrific at joining the attack. Among, he's a bit lively, he's playing around the corner. And then you have the Losky brothers that are just so good at finding those critical spaces between lines. And I do think for Stephen Hogan, that middle three discipline, that balance, the pressure, cover, shiftness needs to be very good at negating transition moments.
Kevin Langford, formerly in his earlier days in his career, played in the 2 Bundesliga and the 3rd division as well in Germany. Also a former U.S. youth national team player for the U.S. under 20s in 2016. 16 goals and 21 assists in his pro career overall. It's pretty impressive, even considering the lower leagues in Germany. Again, not quite the same as the top flight Bundesliga, but still rather impressive. There's no question about that. For the Switchbacks, we were talking before we even came on the air, Ricky, about the ebbs and the flows, I should say, the ups and downs of this Switchback season that they've gone through. At times you look at the table and you're thinking, wow, they could be playing home playoff games again at Widener Field, and that was a big reason why they got to a Western Conference final a season ago. And then there's been other parts of the season, like now, where you're worried about their playoff chances.
And I do think if you're Stephen Hogan, you're just looking for consistency in your lineup, consistency in your performances, and grinding out the results. I do think on the back end of the season, playoffs are right around the corner. Yes, you want to play your best football and get in the rhythm, but it's all about getting the execution, getting the 3 points, and finding a way to win. So I do think this game on the road against the hottest team in USL Championship is going to be a massive opportunity here for the visitors.
For the Switchbacks, it was the teenager Marco Rios who got the late equalizing goal against San Antonio last time out in the 84th minute to salvage a point against the champions at Widener Fields. And who knows, that could be a huge point when we get to the final weeks of this regular season. And we're right there, we're at the stretch run. Most teams have 6 games left in this USL Championship season before we get to the playoffs, which is why tonight, especially for Colorado Springs, is so crucial. He's played in behind here for Deshane Beckford, who is dispossessed. He doesn't give up on the play. He's a bit overzealous, and it is a free kick for Orange County.
You just see the explosiveness from Beckford. He's going to be a special player and a threat on this near side for the Switchbacks. The ability just to create on his own, but also just so opportunistic. I do think if you're Dogman and Powers and Partita, you need to have the coverage as one steps the other provide and drop down, because Beckford is a player that can create something out of nothing on this near side.
Talk briefly about the first meeting back on June 10th. 4 different goal scorers for the Switchbacks: Drew Skundrich, Romario Williams, Jairo Enriquez, and Marco Rios as well. That was the other goal he scored this season. It was against Orange County. And the second was against San Antonio last time out. Stephen Hogan's talked to us multiple times this season about the depth being tested for the Switchbacks, but isn't it nice to have a couple of youngsters you can plug in there, along with Marco Rios? You look at some of the other players this season. Dylan Clark comes to mind as well, that's been relied upon at times, and Marco Rios back on the bench tonight for the Switchbacks, but in some regard, that's what's kind of kept them above water at times during the ups and downs of this Switchbacks campaign.
It also does a world of good just for the confidence within the side that you have players that are, whether sitting on the bench, whether in the starting 11, that can produce and score goals and produce that productivity that Stephen Hogan wants. So I do think the youngster Marco Rios, you can depend on him when he comes on the field. He's going to give that little bit of extra quality that's been lacking.
At the time when that result happened, it was, I don't know if you felt this way, Ricky, but it was almost as if, well, what happened? Orange County, you know, a year or two ago, they're the champions. Now Where are they? Well, Morten Carlson has righted the ship, and they look like the team that could be one of the favorites, if not the favorites, if it's all said and done. If they keep playing like this at the end of the regular season, a lot of people are going to be picking them when the bracket comes out. Beckford on this near side. Agile player, really good with the ball at his feet, but he's lost it here on the near side, and it's an Orange County throw.
We talked about it in the open. The outside backs for Orange County, whether it is Dogman, Uno, and Lamb, have to be very good at picking and choosing their times when to join the attack, because you have Beckford and Tejada that don't need a second invitation to play vertical and to be direct with their movement. So something to keep an eye out on if you're Morten Carlson is just the discipline to be how compact can that back four and stay in unison.
Chance for Marcus Nakim to assess the scene here. Brings it to this near side, maybe an opportunity for Dogman, who cuts in onto his right, plays it into a little dummy from Milan Olaski. Didn't quite come off for him. Brian Olaski keeps it alive. Good first touch from Milan Olaski, but he gets into a bit of a stoppage there. Kept alive by Kisipli. There's a handball appeal from Dogman on the near side. Referee says no. And Christian Herrera controls for the Switchbacks. Keys to the game tonight brought to you by Patterson Auto. Morten Carlson talked about how relentless his team was against El Paso despite the 0-0. He's hoping for more of that tonight.
Just be relentless and also be clinical. Getting yourself into very good opportunities, but how quick can you find the back of the net? That's going to be a key for Orange County. And then we talked about the discipline of wide areas, whether it is Tejada, whether it is to Shane Beckford, to be very vertical and just be a threat to provide the width that Stephen Hogan wants to play with. And as those gaps open up, that's when you can find Romario Williams, who's been extremely quiet 11 minutes in here.
There is one other game going on tonight in the USL Championship. Bit of a weather delay in Albuquerque, but they're off and running, and it's 1-0 to Indy 11 at New Mexico United. 17 minutes into that game. We'll keep an eye on that one. That's big in both conferences, with Indy pushing for a home playoff game, and for New Mexico being one of the teams that's trying to catch the Switchbacks for the 8th spot. Lovely play from Among on the far side. Plays a good ball in. Alaski's in the middle. There's a good challenge on the back end there that sees it go out of play for a throw into Orange County.
Need to be a bit cleaner if you're Musa to pick and choose when to play centrally, but also when to bypass this pressure from Orange County. It's the second time you're getting caught out, but give credit to Jay Chapman. Understands in his position, his perfection to drop down in last-ditch defending effort to stop an Orange County counterattack. Been very impressed with the shape that Orange County has already had 12 minutes in, turning their defense into offense extremely quick.
Nice incisive ball from Nakim, and then Among gives it away to Juan Tejada. Keeps it alive for the Switchbacks in possession. Nice little run to get past one challenge. Nearly sliced a ball in behind there, looking for Stephen Echeverria, and it's cut out. And then Tejada, he's a bit overzealous. It's an Orange County free kick. Sofak Law brings the injury report for both sides for the Switchbacks. There's been a couple of long-term injuries this year. Zach Zandy is one of those. Jimmy Ockford has been in and out of the lineup with injuries all year. Beershaw is the big one that's out for Orange County. And Dunbar, one of the newer additions, has picked up an injury, came in from Minnesota United in Major League Soccer. He's weaved out to this far side, floated. Chance for some service. Far side of the pitch. A couple Orange County players were queuing up. Nakim thought better of it. Kisipli looking for the right angle, helped along by Dylan Powers. Brian Olaski out wide. Was serviced into the middle, looking for Among. It's headed to the edge of the penalty area, and then Speedy Williams helps it along for the Switchbacks. It's allowed to bounce in behind. Echeverria tries to make a difficult situation, beg your pardon, appear for Orange County, but Morten Carlson's boys handle it very well. And Eric Lopez, who's in goal tonight. as the hosts clear their lines. Dogman takes it off. It's curled ahead for Among, who tries to head it into space. And in the end, he's fouled by James Musa.
He's been lively. He's a focal point to play off of for Orange County. Among, known for his pace to spin in behind and stretch out position, but doesn't need a second invitation to drop in and provide that secondary option to play off of. So I do think if he draws out, whether it's Mahoney or Musa, to that center part of the field, there needs to be a secondary action from a wide area, whether it is Milan Iloski or Brian Iloski, to just occupy that space that was vacated by Thomas Among.
Langford held it up. It's curled into the middle. Milan Iloski was the target, and it's cleared out for a corner.
Just early signs of just how comfortable every single player in an Orange County jersey is at just playing a ball in and breaking lines with their passing range. You just see the movement I'm talking about. Among pulls off just a tiny bit. Milan Iloski makes that darting run across the face of the goal. Good last-hit defending effort from Musa.
Brian Iloski whips in the corner kick. It comes out for a chance. The volley sends it high into the air and out of play for a goal kick. It's a True Path Loans corner, but in the end, it comes to nothing for Orange County with 15 minutes gone here in Irvine. And Morton Carlson wants his boys to be more relentless. They've been on the front foot to start this game. Not too many opportunities yet for the Switchbacks, who are going to have to manage this pressure for, you would think, a decent chunk of the night. They're going to leave with a result. A bit of a heavy touch there in the end from Chapman. He gives away possession. Sent ahead by Partita. This is Kasipli. Brian Iloski. Among leaves it for him. Little give and go. Among gets it back. Wide it goes for Lamb. Langford on a weaving run. He's brought down, and it's an Orange County free kick in a very advantageous position.
Just too easy to break lines with their passing, but also no one closes down. As Lacroix steps up, it needs to be quicker in terms of rotation from Echeverria or Speedy Williams. Makes the most of it, that's for sure, Langford, and now a very dangerous set piece. 17 minutes here for Orange County.
Take your pick amongst the Orange County players as to who would stand over this. Brian Iloski, looks like Marcus Nakim, he's over it as well. There were a couple others initially that were in and around it. It's going to be one of those two in the end here. Especially with Brian Iloski over this. You don't know, it could be a shot, could be a trick play set up, we will see. Kim leaves it. And Iloski waits. Still hasn't made up his mind yet what he's going to do here, Brian Iloski. In the end, he's going to shoot! Oh, and it's gone in! Oh, beg your pardon, it's gone wide. Well, much like the crowd, I was fooled there. It rippled the net, but it was the back of the net, quite literally, and not inside.
Just very unorthodox the way that this sets up for Orange County. Well, it is. Malcolm makes a run over. I think Christian's confused. Everyone in a blue jersey is confused. So is I. Hits it extremely well, to be fair. Brian Iloski up and over the wall. The hits the pole behind the goal. I do think with your Orange County, you look at the players, the top 6 players, whether it's Langford, Kasipli, Partita, Iloski brothers, and Among. Every single one of them can create something out of nothing. Very comfortable on the ball. Defensively, the Switchbacks have to be spot on.
Well, glad to know I wasn't the only one that was caught out there. Orange County keep on pushing. Among. Across for Kasipli. Milan Iloski doesn't need much space. And he forces the save out of Herrera. And it's another Orange County corner.
starting on one side to end on the other side. Just watch Seth Kasipli as he steps a bit higher. It puts a lot of pressure on Skundrich because he needs to make a decision. Do I stay centrally? Do I go out and face Milan Alaski? Quick between the lines, and just how quick of a release Milan Alaski has. Little drop of the shoulders, no backlift. And that puts out a corner. It's 1-0 Orange County. Big time save from Pereira.
Owen Lamb will take the corner. True Path Loans set piece here. Lamb whips it in towards the back post. It's headed high into the air by Romario Williams. Tejada tries to clear it for the Switchbacks. And again, he'll settle for a throw.
You talk about spacing on the front line for Orange County. Milan Alaski, he stays high and wide, and you have Brian Alaski on that far side, but sometimes he comes centrally, and it's actually Langford that stays high and wide. So it creates that little bit of confusion between the Switchbacks back line. They have to have a lot of communication. As one drops, the other one needs to provide that coverage and step out to the wide areas. It's been a bit slow 20 minutes in for Stephen Hogan, the visitors here, in terms of their defensive structure.
Headed out by Matt Mahoney, helped along. And he's sent back towards goal and held by Christian Herrera. Early on, as we expected, 2/3 of the possession just about going Orange County's way. The game against El Paso, I think it just surprised a lot of people. Maybe not the draw necessarily. El Paso needed that game very badly. There's been so many surprising results at times this season, but the fact that Orange County didn't score a goal in the match was maybe the more surprising stat from that game. And it was the first time since July that Orange County had been held scoreless in a league game. Of course, the last time it happened in July, they had 3 the next game following the shutout. As Deshane Beckford stays with it. Oh, and it was deflected into the side netting, and it's out for a corner. Great persistence from Beckford, and he forces it out of play in the end and nearly got a shot off. It's a corner on the back end of this.
We talked about being relentless. Beckford, just the ability to create his own space, just so slippery, never gives up on the play, so opportunistic, but give credit to, once again, it's Partida coming around the corner to provide that secondary defender. Makes a wicked reflection. It goes out for a very dangerous set piece as Jay Chapman stands over it.
The referee spots a bit of a group forming in front of Eric Lopez in Orange County's goal. It is Chapman on the set piece. And there is a foul in the build-up. And before the ball could even get there, it's going to be a foul and a free kick, going Orange County's way. Well, Orange County SC heads on the road for the rest of September, but we'll return to the champ for our final 2 home matches of 2023's regular season. OCSC will host our California Classic match Wednesday, October 4th against Oakland Roots. Again on Saturday, October 7th, FanFest against the defending champion, San Antonio. Tickets are at orangecountysoccer.com/tickets. Lots of big games coming up on the USL Championship, including this one tonight. Lately, hasn't mattered where Orange County have played. They just keep piling up the results. Near side, Skundrich tried to find some space. He's one of the 4 that scored against Orange County at Widener Field back in June. Ball's flared towards the edge of the penalty area. It's headed out for Langford to try and control, which he does. Nakim under pressure, and it's cleared away by Eric Lopez, who had to get that right. Seen some good build-up play from Thomas Among, but this time the Switchbacks do deal with it, and Herrera can recycle the possession.
I think it's a little bit better now from the Switchbacks, just a bit more comfortable on the ball. I don't think it's a coincidence that Speedy Williams and Jay Chapman have gotten more involved for Stephen Hogan. Essentially, you want them to dictate tempo. You want them to provide the confidence within the side and move the ball from left to right. And as of late, the Switchbacks have done a better job in that instance.
All time in this series, Orange County leads the Switchbacks with 8 wins. Of course, that one in the postseason It's the one between these two that's meant the most. A 1-0 game back in 2021. We were on the call, Ricky. I had to remind you of that before the before the start of the match. I'm sure many Orange County fans remember it. Switchbacks fans maybe not. Ronaldo Damas with the, well, what turned out to be the winning goal at this end of the pitch after Orange County had gone down to 10 men earlier in the first half. And Richard Chaplow at the time, his boys were able to pull it out, and of course they went on to win the title after that. I don't know if this is an omen for Orange County, but in the playoffs that year, they were the 3 seed, and that's where they sit right now if the season were to end today. And Speedy Williams taken out in the midfield. Ooh, and a yellow card. He's going to come out as well, our first booking of the match. I believe it's gone Kevin Partita's way here for the hosts. It was a very late challenge.
It's not what you want if you're Warren Carlson. Your anchor in the center of the midfield just misjudges the flight of the ball. Speedy Williams, to be fair, it's a loose touch from the experienced Jamaican. Mistimed tackle, now 25 minutes in on a yellow card. Big challenge in terms of his discipline and his positioning in the center of the park.
Yellow cards are brought to you by SoCal Gas. First time we've seen the referee go to his pocket tonight. Switchbacks trying to put some more pressure on Orange County, but it is a free kick to the hosts. I told you about the great run that Orange County has been on. It's allowed Morton Carlson to pick up back-to-back Coach of the Month awards. He's actually the first coach in USL Championship history to go back-to-back in the Coach of the Month award. That surprised me a little bit, but it's well-deserved, the way that Orange County have played these last 2 months. And an undefeated August, of course, 4 wins out of 4. They actually outscored opponents by 8-1 in the month and had 3 clean sheets. And that was building off a month where they scored 11 goals in July, 4 wins and just the 1 loss against RGV. And Morton Carlson won his first of 2 Coach of the Month awards. And when you think of the great coaches that are in this league now, that have been in this league, that's a bit of a surprising stat. That ball is whipped in nicely into the middle. It's headed down into space for Among to try to deal with it. Chapman shields him away, but it's not dealt with yet. Kasipli looks to recycle. He lofts one into the penalty area, and at the end it finds the hands of Herrera. Is lofted into the center of the park, and Orange County able to reset the possession once more. A slice through for Kasipli. First time ball for Among, who tries to head it towards the penalty area, and Matt Mahoney is there to sweep things up. Beckford. It's almost like he has eyes in the back of his head to Shane Beckford. Here's Speedy Williams. Speedy Williams brings that championship DNA into this Colorado Springs group. Had so much success with Louisville. Their back-to-back title run, 2017, 2018. And they built that almost, well, essentially a dynasty, especially if you count Eastern Conference championships. Of course, they are the reigning Eastern Conference champions, but of course, the Tampa Bay Rowdies have interrupted that a couple of times in the last 3 or 4 seasons. And Wantahana's a former Rowdy as well. And it is an Orange County free kick to get us back to live action. Lopez. Nick Kim. He's sent to head in behind. Milanowski's fighting to get onto the ball. He's managed to do so, trying to cross into the middle, and it was blocked. Orange County will settle for a throw.
Just not having the right balance at the moment for the Switchbacks because they're trying to step high. And as they step high,
Woloski picks the ball back up. It's with his left, and Herrera saves it. Not sure if that was going to go on target, but Herrera wasn't to know, and it was curling. It's out for a corner.
and when you have a player that has the quality with not only his right foot but his left foot, he's just such a threat, just so unpredictable. Sends Speedy Williams packing. And just see how quickly he has that release on both feet. The ability just to pick up second balls, to find himself in the right spot at the right time. And that's a fantastic save from Herrera.
From the corner, it's headed out at the near post, and Orange County will have to recycle it. Woloski lays it off for Partida. Well, it's whipped back in. It's headed towards Among in the end. It was over his head, and it's out for a throw-in on the near side.
Just going back to that Switchbacks conversation that we're talking about. If they step high, that front line, whether it's Echeverria, Speedy Williams has stepped high a bit, that back line needs to provide that coverage and step with him, because too many times there's a gap between 10 to 15 yards between lines, and when you have Milanowski, it's almost Among on the other side of the ball, they're going to make you pay for that time and space, because it just creates confusion. Are you going to step or are you going to drop? And then when you have that little bit of confusion in your mind, it gives them the ability to pick and choose and be decisive in that final third. And this side, you see Milanowski, 12 goals, 4 assists. Thomas Among, 7 goals and 2 assists on the season. They're going to hurt you if you give them that luxury to pick up their head from 25 yards in.
Another corner for Orange County. Owen Lamb is on the duties here for the hosts. It's going to go near post this time. It's headed to the outskirts of the penalty area. And then it's volleyed and parried away by Herrera. Still not definitively cleared. Shot does come in, it's blocked away. Another chance, placed back in there by Dogman, who volleyed it initially. And then Lopez nearly comes up to midfield to clear it. There's so many numbers committed for Orange County up ahead. On the back end of this, the offside flag is up, negating any further action.
What a fantastic strike this was from Dogman. We're about 30 yards out, the technique. As the ball pops up on the air, you have to have enough patience to let it come down, but also hit it in a swinging motion to have it with enough dip to trouble that man. But he's been spectacular, 32 minutes in for the Switchbacks. Big time save after big time save. He's having himself a night.
Sometimes on the road, you need those moments from your goalkeeper. Christian Herrera has come to the rescue for the Switchbacks on multiple occasions so far. He's denied Woloski. He was able to deny Dogman. Just like at least so far, comparing it to the El Paso game, Orange County have come close, but so far, no end product. Not for a lack of trying. Here's Skundrich for the Switchbacks. Tejada tries to get it back to Skundrich, who didn't give up on the play. In the end, it's going to go back to the hosts.
And I do think you need to get Romario Williams involved just a tiny bit more for the Switchbacks, just to be a focal point. You want him to stay high. That's going to be able to create those gaps for players underneath him. I think you see Echeverria, he hasn't been involved enough. Tejada as well. Players are having a very difficult time finding the right space to pick up between lines, and that's credit to Orange County, how compact they've been, but also just the pressure on the ball to not give the ability to pick up the head and find those passing that Speedy Williams and Jay Chapman are so good at.
On the break here, Orange County waiting for numbers to arrive. There's Reed in behind. Musa not able to quite get his head onto that. It's headed down into the penalty area. Skundrich clears it off of one of his own teammates. Among is able to chase this down in front of Tejada. Dogman on a recycle for Orange County. It's served back in by Powers, looking for Among. Switchbacks have enough men around the ball to deal with it. And Tejada sends it down the line. We're in the 34th minute, Ricky, to your point. I think we've mentioned Romario Williams' name once, maybe twice so far. I'm sure that's not what Stephen Hogan was hoping for.
I mean, he highlighted him in the opening because he's such a focal point. He's such an important part of what the Switchbacks want to do on the attacking phase, whether it's scoring goals, but also, watch out.
Lovely ball in behind here. Orange County have another chance! And Herrera with another save down to his right. And it was tough to tell if Dogman was going to be able to squeeze that through. Another great save from the Switchbacks goalkeeper.
We talk about having threats from all over the field. This is your left back getting in behind this back line of the Switchbacks. Far too easy. When you have a player like Brian Alosky that can put a ball on a platter from about 50 yards, it's always a threat. But I do think Dogman makes a wrong decision in the end. You have Milan Alosky centrally. If you just sweat this ball across, it's 1-0 Orange County. But once again, massive save from Herrera.
And the fans can feel it coming potentially here. Orange County, Dogman with the service. It was touched down into the middle of the penalty area, but there was a foul in the build-up. And that ends the sequence for Orange County. The Switchbacks hanging on here.
See on the back end of it, I think it's Malcolm that has Skundrich just bear hugging him all over the field. Clear foul.
In the end, it ends another burst of attack from Orange County's Among. Nearly took the ball away from Herrera as he tried to clear it. Switchbacks are playing with fire a bit here at the moment.
Just going to our point, Sean, Romario Williams, 5 touches, 36 minutes in. Juan Tejada, 8 touches. If those players are not getting the service that they want or deserve, it's going to be a very difficult time just to break down the stout defensive side of Orange County.
Williams helped to keep the ball alive here. Romario, that is. Speedy plays it in, and then a shot is fired by Beckford. It does fall for Drew Skundrich, who thought about hitting it. Plays it in for Beckford. Chapman slicing it through, helped along. And Lacroix passed into the middle, and it nearly found a light blue shirt, but it is cleared away. The Switchbacks are going to need more of that. They're going to leave Orange County with points in their back pocket. Skundrich for Speedy Williams, who tries to serve it into the penalty area. It's kept alive again, but it's a high boot in the end against Echeverria. And it's going to be a free kick. Based on what the referee did with his hand motion, it looked like it was a high boot. Well, regardless, it was with Orange County for a moment, but the Switchbacks have it back. Here's Chapman. Lacroix out wide. 8 minutes left in the half. Can the Switchbacks come up with something here? Not quite on this occasion. Brian Alosky does the job defensively for the stingy back line of Orange County and that unit in defense. And the hosts get a pressure-relieving free kick. Orange County SC's 4th annual Corporate Cup returns for 2023. Don't miss out on your chance to play where the pros play with your office. Sign up today at orangecounty.com/corporate-cup. Stephen Hogan, seen it all this season, it feels like, with the Switchbacks. They've been up against it multiple times. They've always responded. Colorado Springs, can they do it again in the stretch run? The San Antonio game tells you they can. Can they back that up again tonight? Like you said, Ricky, talk to us about consistency. And so far, they've been in position for points here, but can they find some opportunities in the attacking third? That's what's been lacking for them in this first half to this point. Powers trying to serve it into the penalty area. Mahoney deals with it initially for Colorado Springs. Tejada puts it back into a dangerous area. Dogman across the middle, and it went past Olaski. Nearly kept alive again. It's won back by Partita. Orange County again get an opportunity. It's chopped across. Milan Olaski for Among. It's Milan Olaski, blocked by Mahoney, cleared by Tejada. Not definitively cleared as well. Kisipli services the ball out to the far side. It's headed out of play in the end, and Switchbacks can't afford to give Orange County that many opportunities.
Just so clever from Milan Olaski to understand the second action, because so many players get caught ball watching, so he plays off the shoulder. You just see Speedy Williams picks up his head, follows the ball. Milan Olaski follows up because he understands Thomas Among is just going to play this ball into his path. How quick of a release does he have? But once again, last-ditch defending effort from the Switchbacks to not allow this ball to get to Herrera. But Milan Olaski is just a level above every single player on the field at this moment. It's just those little things, Sean, that create so much space on top of the 18-yard box. The little change of the angle, the little drop of his shoulder. It's not much, but players that score the best goals, to score the most goals in world football, you understand the movement before they get the ball, and that's what makes a massive difference for attacking players.
Orange County will come onto the attack again. Little push towards the penalty area. Switchbacks clean it up, but concede a throw with 5 minutes left in the half. Well, this thrown in towards Langford. Plays it down the byline in the end. Lovely first touch to play it centrally, and the cross is blocked on the way through and cleared by Skundrich. Mario Williams comes all the way back to help. All hands on deck here for the Switchbacks at the moment. Dogman down the line. Chance for maybe a return ball, but in the end it's played for Powers. Kim. Brian Olaski. Milan Olaski. Saved by Herrera. Relatively comfortable, I should say, in the end, as that brother pairing nearly linked up once again.
But once again, just the movement underneath Langford, as he just requires so much attention, whether it's Brian Miloski or Milan Olaski. Understand that as everyone's getting caught ball watching, there's real estate, whether it's underneath or beyond the movement of Langford. Doesn't hit it as cleanly as he would like. Miloski, in the end, very easy save for Herrera. But I do think if you're Stephen Hogan, you're looking at Speedy Williams, you're looking at Jay Chapman. When that ball gets by you, your job is not done. You have to have the ability to turn around and double down, because second balls have been so important for Orange County at picking up those half chances from 25 yards in.
Among thought he was fouled initially here, but the offside flag is up, and that negates this.
And Mahoney just undercuts Among here. No ill will whatsoever from the center back. But like you said, Sean, offside. To come back onside, catches himself in a lot of trouble, but hopefully he's okay.
OCSC has new premium seating options for the 2023 season. Our new GA box is just above the bleachers. The new field box sections are now available. This now makes 4 premium seating experiences at the Champ, along with our cabanas and field VIP seating. Book your experience today at orangecountysoccer.com/premium. Not a bad seat in the house here at Championship Soccer Stadium. Well, some concern right now for Thomas Among, as Morten Carlson makes sure everybody else is getting the proper instructions. Same thing with Stephen Hogan and his side of things for Colorado Springs, who've been playing with fire against the hottest team in the league. Not many teams get to live to tell the tale. But so far, the Switchbacks have remained on level terms. The moment's about how long they can hold out, and can they turn these absorbing of pressure into chances at the other end. That masked man and all of the Orange County supporters will be happy that Thomas Among is back onto his feet. You talked about it earlier, Ricky, how vibrant Among has been in this first half. You see there, a great crew, reminding you, 7 goals this season for Among, but he's a very creative player aside from that as well.
There's a lot of those selfless running as well, just pulling center backs out of position with this tirelessly work rate. And that opens up options for a player like Milan Olaski. Now Langford, 1 goal, 1 assist since he's came over. So Thomas Among, such a focal point of what Morten Karlsson likes to do on the attacking phase of the game.
Final minute of the 45, and we'll see how much added time there is after that. Switchbacks on the attack, looking for an unlikely opening goal here. Lacroix gets into the penalty area, cross is blocked, handball appeals all over the place. Referee says it was hit with the chest, not the hand. And Orange County come back the other way. Among's back on the pitch. And Speedy Williams controls for the Switchbacks. Well, multiple Switchbacks players were asking the question of the referee. In the end, Sergei Demianchuk has said that it's no penalty. Switchbacks come again. Skundrich looking for Romario Williams. Still could fall for a chance here. Tejada looks for space, maybe cross this into the middle. Instead he has Speedy Williams for company. Jay Chapman went to 2 added minutes at the end of the half. Lacroix, lovely little give and go back to Lacroix. Speedy Williams. Skundrich. And the Switchbacks landed unlikely counterpunch here. Chapman tries to slice it through. It nearly fell for Echeverria. Milan Olaski pushes it past Skundrich. 2 on Milan Olaski. It's a clever little step over, but he's dispossessed. And Olaski is still down here. Echeverria plays on. Skundrich. Tejada. Minute and change left in the half. Lacroix. Beckford. Shane Beckford conjures something up here. Milan Olaski's back up onto his feet. Mahoney. Near side, Drew Skundrich. The longest passage of possession we've seen from Colorado Springs tonight. Williams again. Chapman with a reverse ball, and that's going to be a foul and a free kick for the Switchbacks. Could be the final major act of the half here.
And it's been better from Stephen Hogan's boys over the last 5 minutes. Just taking the wind out of the sails of this Orange County side in this hostile environment. Not forcing anything, being patient, having the ball circulation, and when those gaps open up, that's when you penetrate. You draw very silly fouls. What a dream opportunity this would be for the Switchbacks just to get one right before halftime. You're looking for quality here from Jay Chapman right between that 6-yard box and penalty mark to cause chaos in front of Lopez.
Played in by Chapman. Oh, there was open men out front, but it goes past Lacroix and company and trickles out of play at the end of the half. And that is the last act of the half as well. Well, the Switchbacks nearly landed a counter blow at the end of that first half, but the half belonged to Orange County despite the 0-0 scoreline.
I think if you're Morten Karlsson, you have to be very pleased with just the intensity. But once again, Sean, we talked about it in the open, and the key is you have to be relentless, but you also have to be clinical. So many opportunities, but how do you find the back of the net? And I do think if you can get a goal in the first 5 minutes after halftime, you're going to be very pleased for Orange County. But for the Switchbacks, just get on the ball just a tiny bit more, be a bit more confident in picking and choosing your times when to play centrally, but also bypass this initial pressure. I do think that's going to be a really important halftime talk for Stephen Hogan and the Switchbacks.
Well, the second half is nicely set up for us here in Irvine, California. Orange County dominated the first half. I think that's fair to say. The Switchbacks held up defensively. At the end of the first half, it's a stalemate between Orange County and Colorado Springs. Halftime is next, and 45 massive minutes will follow that.
Patterson Kia, where it's all about you.
I'm John Patterson from the all-new Mission Viejo Kia, and we're celebrating August with the new Kia Forte lease for as low as $195 a month, only at Patterson Mission Viejo Kia. Visit the largest Kia service center in Orange County at Mission Viejo Kia. No appointment necessary, award-winning customer service, and available service loaners today. Experience the difference at Mission Viejo Kia, where it's all about you.
Patterson Kia, where it's all about you.
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there's no one better at getting you back to you. Orthopedics and spine, it's all we do.
So we're getting that house we told you guys about.
You're buying a house?
Yeah. Soldiers get VA loan guarantees.
Yeah, no money down.
Well, my office gives us free bagels.
That's cool.
Yes. I'll get you the file. Sounds intense. Clients. What do you do? Retired. Tech? Nah, Army.
Huh.
Check your spam folder.
One of the main treatments we work on with the players is treatments that focus in on lower extremities. We want to make sure that we maximize flexibility and minimize stiffness in the hips and legs. During the session, we incorporate stretches, IASTM, percussive therapy, and cryotherapy. The session is really tailored to the needs of the athlete being treated.
Recovery is a crucial part of every athlete's performance.
We're excited to be working with OCSE again to help the team recover throughout the season.
Back here at the half between Orange County and Colorado Springs. Great half so far, and halftime is brought to you by IPA Physio, the official physical therapy partner of OCSE. This first halftime break, we get to hear from Milan Olaski about his big upcoming.
When he's quiet. Huge, everything. Keep climbing the table.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
The opportunity for the small business owner with the tax credit is up to $26,000 per employee. Small business owners have been through a lot through the pandemic. They've seen the power of tax credits, government offset through the PPP program. This program, employee retention credit, is much larger than that. And so if you're a small business and you employ folks, you need to be looking at this opportunity to see if you can qualify. But it's definitely something where you need to be talking to your financial advocate or advisor and having them guide you through the process.
Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez-Espin back here with you at the half. It's 0-0 between Orange County and the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Big 45 minutes still to come in Irvine. There's no question about that. But first and foremost, let's take a look around the league in the USL Championship. Of course, it's probably the biggest story in the league. You heard from Milan just a moment ago about his upcoming big move to FC Nordjylland. He's not the first Orange County player to go overseas as well. Of course, recently Corradi Oceandina moving on to the Dutch League with the Feyenoord organization as well. And we keep talking about it, Ricky, because it matters. We're getting closer and closer to those USL Championship playoffs. So much still to determine.
And I do think if you talk to every single coach, just managing games and managing moments become that much more important, because we talked about everyone wants to play in the last day of the season, which is November 12th on ESPN2. And then also for USL and the family, welcoming Portland, Maine. They'll be coming into 2025, so the game of football just grows, and that's going to be massive for the growth in the Northeast.
Very excited to see what the Portland, Maine market has in store for us. And of course, the Destination Irvine upcoming match schedule, a ton of big games to look forward to tomorrow. Miami need it badly against Pittsburgh at home. Louisville against San Diego for the third and final time in the regular season. The Rowdies go to San Antonio. Oakland against Tulsa. It's all happening.
We just talked about it, right? Every single one of these games are so important because playoffs are right around the corner, and there's so many matchups that teams are right around that playoff margin, right? You look at Monterey Bay. That must be a win for Frank Yelp. Miami, they're welcoming Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, and San Antonio. That's probably the highlight of the game, but there's so much games that are riding on so much, so that's going to be really important. That Oakland Roots and FC Tulsa one as well.
No question. The Switchbacks will be watching that El Paso Sac Republic game as well. There's no question about that. We'll take another break. First half highlights, stats, and the second half kick are just around the corner. From Irvine, it's 0-0 at the half between Orange County and the Switchbacks.
A few years ago, I was making cabinets and somebody gave this idea like, hey, why don't you make your beautiful doors to fit IKEA cabinets?
You know, we care about everything that goes into making a door or a panel or a cabinet. Designing a kitchen or even remodeling it, it's a difficult process. We're here to kind of bridge that gap between the vision and realizing that goal.
We're able to make everything in-house, handmade, handcrafted, beautiful product.
When you are killed by a drunk driver, you become nothing but a stick figure on a police report. Your death will be a story never to be told by you, and justice will never be served. Last year, nearly 13,000 stick figures were drawn by officers after a drunk driving fatality. It will take everyone to eliminate drunk driving, so that no one ever has to tell your story from a police report.
This match is presented by Taqueria Oi, the official taco of OCSC. And once again, the Noah Burnout Foundation wants to remind you to never drink drive and get home safely. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez Espin here with you. To Turf Newport Beach, beg your pardon, brings you the first half highlights from this one between Orange County and the Switchbacks. 16th minute, a set piece chance for Orange County, who are really knocking on the door.
It was all one-way traffic for the home side. Probably the best opportunity of the night. Fooled everyone in the stadium, including us. Branialowski up and over the wall, hits a pole behind the goal, and almost ask a lot of question of Herrera. And you talk about the movement, talking about overload centrally for Orange County. It was so good, just moving the ball from left to right, just quick decision making. But every shot has been straight at Herrera, and he's been spectacular, making save after save for the Switchbacks.
21st minute, a little bit of play from the Switchbacks, who didn't have a ton of it until the end of the half.
And most of it has came from Deshane Beckford, just the ability to create something out of nothing. The relentlessness and not give up on the play, takes a wicked deflection and almost troubles Lopez, but I think he's been the focal point. He's been the brightest spot for Stephen Hogan. You want to see him get more involved in that final third in this upcoming second half for the visitors here tonight.
But then it was more from Orange County. Dogman was quite a bit involved in the first half as well. He had a couple of chances, but this is another strike from Branialowski.
Just to create your own space. We talked about it, a little drop of the shoulder, but it's a movement that he does before he gets the ball. He understands that the ball's going to fall centrally. Let me get myself in a very dangerous position, but once again, fantastic save from the goalkeeper, Herrera.
Sauvé Law brings the halftime stats to you. 12 shots to 2 in favor of Orange County. 5 shots to nothing as far as shots on target. That about tells the story.
I think it's not just not good enough, plain and simple, for Stephen Hogan. He'd tell you that as well. You need to get more involved in that final third and ask questions and put a lot of pressure on this backline of Powers and Knockham, because they've been widely untested. Lopez hasn't had to make a save, so I do think if you're Stephen Hogan, how do you weather the storm the first 10 to 15 minutes to get yourself confident, to get yourself in a rhythm, and really ask questions and put this back line of Orange County under a lot of pressure here on the road?
That's a big second half for Colorado Springs. There's no question about that. Morton Carlson's boys are trying to make it 10 games unbeaten and get back into the win column once again. Again, USL Championship Coach of the Month for a second straight month. Never been done before in the league's history. And he continues to have the magic touch for Orange County, who will continue to be the toughest team in the league to beat over these last couple of months. 4 wins and just 1 defeat in the month of July, and a perfect 12 points out of 12 last month. And September has continued to bring the good times to Orange County. Can they make it 10 games in a row unbeaten? Can they get another victory to push up the table, try to catch the champion San Antonio, maybe even Sac Republic, who they beat at Sac Republic during this current unbeaten run that they're on at the moment? That might be the most impressive win anyone's had all season. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez Espin, our entire crew. Pleasure to have you with us. Give you an update from Albuquerque as well. New Mexico scored just before the end of the first half. It's 1-1 between New Mexico United and Indy 11. That's a big game, especially considering that New Mexico are trying to catch the Switchbacks for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference of the USL Championship. There's the confirmation of that. We'll keep an eye on that game as the night continues on. Just these 2 games tonight, but a full slate of games tomorrow as well, upcoming. And also upcoming is another Orange County attack, and that took a wicked deflection. And again, it curled away from Herrera's goal, and it's out for another Orange County corner as the beat goes on for the host as far as chances created.
You just have the ability just to pump the ball into a dangerous area from all sorts of angles. But you have to give credit to Musa Mahoney, the 2 center backs of the Switchbacks have dealt with everything thrown their way and winning every single individual duel.
Branialowski from the corner, and it's caught by Christian Herrera in traffic. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com, where the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. I haven't seen the Select ball hit the back well of the inside of the net, we should say. At least not yet. But more chances are going to come. There's no question about that. Orange County again trying to thread a ball through in behind. It could fall here for an opportunity. Among was able to just about hold the play up. Milanilowski with a delicate chip into the penalty area, which is cushioned out of play, or I should say out of the penalty area. But again, kept alive here. Lamb back for Milanilowski. Not sure if he was trying to hit that for goal or try to find a teammate. Regardless, it's yet another Orange County corner upcoming.
Just the way that he runs up to this, you think he has eyes for that top corner trying to bend it in. Tejada does extremely well to close down the space.
Bryanilowski to the back post. It's headed wide of the goal. Again, Orange County huff and puff, but they can't blow the house down.
You just see the quality, whether it is Bryanilowski from a set piece, but also Dogman from the left back position. He's been very dangerous at deploying balls into that 18-yard box. Just haven't had the ability to beat that man. He's been very, very good for Stephen Hogan and the visitors here tonight.
See if Orange County can avoid a repeat of the El Paso game. And again, Morten Carlson preached to us how impressed he was that they kept on pushing. Despite the fact that they weren't being clinical enough in the final third, they kept on going, they kept creating chances, just couldn't find the back of the net. And we are getting a little close to that territory as the game moves along. Of course, Stephen Hogan's side will feel that if it keeps going like this, they'll feel they could have a chance to steal the points and possibly pull off one of the more shocking results of the season, considering the form that Orange County are in. Ball is retrieved by James Musa. Chapman helps it along. Among putting some pressure on. And he continues to run towards Herrera. Just about gets it away to Musa. Here's Lacroix. Dancing past two defenders for Orange County. And he has space to run into here, Duke Lacroix. Speedy Williams up ahead as well. This could open up here for the Switchbacks. Romario Williams tries to hold up the play, looks for space, three around him. It's played across to Duke Lacroix, and his own teammate Tejada blocks the shot and stays down here. And it's a good spot by the referee. Potential head injury will stop the play. And we hope that Juan Tejada, who I believe was in front of the strike, is okay. He'll get some attention.
Just breaks down with Romario Williams, a sloppy first touch. That gives the time and space for this back line. You just see Lacroix hits it extremely well. Head down, laces through the ball to the backside of Juan Tejada. Good to see him up on his own power. Like you said, Sean, potential head injury, you have to stop it immediately. And I do think if you're Stephen Hogan, the play up to this point has been a bit better to build up from the back to draw out that front line of Orange County. Then you just see the real estate and the gaps open up between the lines. We talked about Romario Williams not having enough touches in that first half. Not good enough in that first touch as this ball rotates over. You want it to be a bit more decisive in around that 18-yard box, because he can be an X factor for the Switchback side going forward.
Switchbacks certainly have the attacking options to turn this game around. Looks like it's going to be a drop ball for Colorado Springs. And in the sporting fashion, they will reset the play from a little bit further back to get us back into the main flow of the game. Juan Tejada is itching to get back on the pitch, and now the referee waves him back on, so that's good to see. We'll keep an eye on him as the game goes along, and that's going to be a rash challenge from James Musa on Bryanilowski.
I'll tell you what, I think he's very lucky not to see yellow here. Exactly what Bryanilowski is begging for. Just tries to do a little bit too much, and it's not the first time we've seen him give the ball away cheaply. James Musa, emergency defending, just takes off the legs of Bryanilowski. Transition moment. Very lucky not to see a yellow card there.
the way back it goes for Eric Lopez. Much like the head-to-head history between these two, many of the games, the June 10th game was a bit of an outlier, tend to be tight when these two get together. This fixture has brought some great moments in the last few years, in the regular season, and of course the notable postseason meeting that we talked about earlier. And it happened here in Irvine, kicked off the Orange County title run. Lacroix curls that beautifully in behind, but Williams couldn't quite control it. Nearly fell for Tejada. And again, it falls for Eric Lopez instead.
And it's the right idea from the Switchbacks. You have this little slash of a run from Romario Williams. That pulls out a center back, and then it's the underrun from Steven Echeverria. Much like moments ago, the first touch from Romario Williams just lets him down. I do think there's a better balance centrally for the Switchbacks. Just having the ability to turn their defense into offense and also just commit a lot of more numbers in around that 18-yard box.
Nice reverse ball played in behind for Jay Chapman, who tumbles over in the penalty area. He's told to get up by the official. Lopez clears. Maybe the confidence growing for Colorado Springs here, knowing that this game is still there for the taking. After all the defending that they've done, Morton Carlson's going to make the first change of the night. And Orange County in need of a spark. Bring on Sparky. Mark McNulty is going to come on. And Kevin Langford is going to come off here. It's a Mediquip substitution. Turning setbacks into comebacks. And it's going to be the Scotsman that replaces the man that applied his trade, I should say, in the lower levels of the German Bundesliga. A collision on the back end of that. As we get back to live action, this is Chapman.
I do think that's a very interesting substitution for Martin Carlson, just the timing of it. Not even 10 minutes after the break. You use a moment, use a window. Something tells me you gave him just enough time to see if he can keep on going. Maybe it's a little bit of a nagging injury, don't want to speculate, but very peculiar in just the timing of the sub from an experienced coach of Martin Carlson's stature.
Kevin Langford had a really good first half, to your point as well, Ricky. We hope it isn't an injury for the health's sake of the player. Certainly, Mark McNulty's a really good player to bring on in his stead. There's no question about that. 3 goals and 4 assists for the Scotsman this season. Orange County try to build again after a few Switchbacks waves in the attack. Both teams looking to break the deadlock just past the 10-minute mark in the second half. Tejada's pressure forces Orange County back. Williams really, and in the end, helps Tejada to dispossess the ball from Orange County's grasp, and it's going to be a Switchbacks throw. Fans, there's still time to go and check out all the new merchandise for 2023. There's new women's collection, new sweatshirts, and a new OCSC quarter zip. Head over to OCSCshop.com to grab yours today. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez Espin, our entire crew, happy to have you with us. It's been an intriguing game to take in. There's no question about that. A lot of Orange County opportunities. Switchbacks are growing into this game. It feels like that first goal is just around the corner. Who is going to get it? Skundrich for Tejada, who's able to get past one defender here on this near side. Whips a dangerous ball in as well. Not the best of clearances in the middle. And then it's headed back centrally into a dangerous area. Cleared only as far as Lacroix. Speedy Williams. Threads it out wide, I should say, for Drew Skundrich. Skundrich tries to get it back from Tejada on the overlap, but he's shielded away. And it's a goal kick. You can see there the possession stats have evened out quite a bit. At one point, Orange County had nearly 2/3 of the possession. And now it's almost bang even. Dangerous pass back here, and there was pressure from Williams that forces it out for a corner with Lopez under the cosh.
Been a bit sloppy since coming out of the break from Orange County. Now you start to see the switchbacks press high, and it starts with the willingness from Mario Williams to never give up, to opportunistic, just to pick the pocket of Lopez and get away with an Orange County. I do think if you're Morton Carlson, you just want a reaction, a bit of energy, a bit of life. It's been extremely flat for the home side since coming out of the locker room.
Corner kick for the switchbacks to work with here. Ball is whipped in low, it's flicked on. It's gonna go out of the penalty area. Speedy Williams recovers it. Shane Beckford back to whip this ball towards the penalty area. Orange County deal with it, and they could have numbers here, but Speedy Williams knows exactly what he needed to do there, and he stops the break to allow his teammates to get back in defense.
Yeah, it's a very professional foul from Speedy Williams. Needs to put a challenge in, but also he escapes it without getting a yellow card, more importantly, because the break was on for Orange County. Anilowski picks up the second ball. The willing runners on the front end of it. Milan, Thomas Among, McNulty as well.
Ball flared out to the far side. Good challenge by Skundrich. It's back out for a throw as we approach the hour mark. By the way, New Mexico United have scored again. They lead by 2-1. As they continue to try and get back towards that 8 spot in the West. That'd be a huge win for the men of Albuquerque if they can hold on against Mark Lowry's Indy 11. Chapman trying to thread the ball down the line here. Lopez called upon and beats Skundrich to it. Of course, Vegas is the only team in the league at the moment that's mathematically eliminated from the postseason. Everybody else, RGV all the way up, still has a chance in the West. 30 minutes to go here. Lamb gets it from McNulty. A little give and go between those two. Lamb with an incisive pass towards the penalty area. Couple handball appeals, play continues. Among leaves it to Brian Alosky, who's brought down just outside of the penalty area, and it's a free kick. And Echeverria is also booked for the challenge. And Orange County are in business here.
But it starts with the decision of Lamb not to pump this ball in and circulating to just get a better opportunity. But watch the body language of Brian Alosky as Echeverria, lunges in. He leaned into the challenge and he invites the contact, and he goes down, knows exactly what he's doing. Just so clever from the number 10 in orange to win a very dangerous set piece about 19 yards out. You have to think Milan Alosky is licking his lips. Plethora of options from this distance. You have to be so delicate to go up and over the wall. So many times players would like to go underneath the wall now, or even hard to the goalkeeper's side to try to catch him cheating. So watch the movement of Herrera. If he trusts his wall, if he takes one step to his right-hand side, puts himself in a very dangerous situation.
Yellow cards are brought to you by SoCal Gas as Christian Herrera makes sure that his wall is in proper position and that they're holding the proper posture as well. Two Alosky's stand over this for Orange County. Plethora of talent available, as you mentioned, Ricky, for who would strike this. Milan and Brian talking this over.
You can also see a little roll of the ball to change the angle and try to catch a bit of confusion within the lines of the switchbacks.
Marcus Nakim, the captain, in the mix of it as well. Can Orange County break the deadlock here? It's going to be Brian Olowski! Brilliant save by Christian Herrera. It was a wonderful strike from Brian Olowski's left, but Herrera denies him again.
Alexa go around the wall just with enough bend to bend it inside that near post, but what a spectacular save this is from Herrera. Big bear claw on this left-hand side to punch it up and over the bar. And once again, answering every single question asked of him, the big goalkeeper from the Colorado Springs Switchbacks.
It leads to a corner that the Switchbacks have to defend here. It's in by Lamb, headed away by Chapman. Can Orange County recycle this? Switchbacks are out quickly to put more pressure on. It is recycled back in, but once again, Christian Herrera continues to have a tremendous night in goal. We're getting into standing on head territory here for Christian Herrera. And more work to do for the Switchbacks after a poor clearance by Musa that goes out for a corner on the near side. Didn't quite get that right, James Musa. And the Switchbacks are back under more pressure. The True Path Loans corner kick. Brian Olowski will deliver it. Goes towards the back post. It is headed towards the goal, but not on target.
That's the second time an Orange County player gets on the end of it, but just makes the wrong decision. You're wider of that far post. You just need to head it back across where it came from into that trafficked area, right on top of that 6-yard box, because the angle's cut down. I really like this sub coming in for Stephen Hogan. As once a hot as day seems to be over, Malik Foster's going to come onto the field, and much like the Shane Beckford on the opposite side, very vertical in the way that he moves. Explosiveness, likes to stretch the opposition. So as he gets in behind this back line of Orange County, you're going to start to see second balls become so much more important. And Echeverria going to get more involved. Him and Romario Williams are going to pay dividends to just the attacking-minded sub of Stephen Hogan.
See there, 3 goals and 3 assists for the creative Malik Foster. Oh, and this is not a good sign for Colorado Springs. Herrera struggling with 25 minutes left. Orange County tried to play on anyway. Of course, the whistle has to go here. Well, it's a good time to mention that Stephen Hogan has really relied on not just Herrera, but other goalkeepers as well. Most notably, the goalkeeper who's on the bench tonight, Joe Kuzminski. So if Herrera unfortunately would have to come off, they do have a good backup on the bench, the Switchbacks, but Christian Herrera has been in some kind of form this evening. It looks like he might just need a moment to regroup. Hopefully that is all that it is. We're starting to lose track of how many big saves he's had this evening.
I think all that jumping and all that twisting and turning maybe catches him in a cramp. You just see right after he kicks it, he knows something's not right, goes down immediately.
Looks like for the time being, Herrera is okay. It's good news from a Colorado Springs perspective. Orange County FC's 4th annual Corporate Cup returns for 2023. Don't miss out on your chance to play where the pros play with your office. Sign up today at orangecountysoccer.com/corporate-cup. Orange County back on the attack. Lovely little ball roll by Owen Lamb. Lamb gets past another couple of defenders, keeps it alive for Partita. But the pass comes up short on the far side, and the Switchbacks maybe with a chance to break here. Malik Foster on the far side has good pace. A push and a chase down that far side into the penalty area. Good cross into the middle, and it's deflected wide. And it's out for a corner kick as he was trying to find Romario Williams in the middle.
We just talked about how explosive and how vertical he is in his movement. But as he beats his individual marker, you just see him talking to Romario Williams because he needs to make this near post run as a number 9. If he does two things. If he gets on the end of it, an easy tap in, but secondary, it pulls out of a center back for a secondary option. You peel off to that back post and plays into the hands of the 2 center backs.
Jay Chapman from the Switchbacks corner. Can Colorado Springs land the first blow tonight? Considering how the game is played out for the vast majority, it would be against the odds here. They've grown into the match in the second half. Another set-piece opportunity. As our center official is just making sure, I think, that his communications are all okay. Chapman stings in the cross, and a foul is spotted inside of the 6-yard box as Lopez punched. That's an Orange County free kick to alleviate the pressure. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, play as your favorite USL Championship club. Free to play. Download now. Musa getting tangled up with Thomas Among. Ball is cleared out of play. "21 minutes plus stoppage time left. And somehow we still haven't had a goal in this match. Is that going to change? Romario Williams trying to slide that ball in behind for Echeverria. It's cut out. And Orange County have a chance to build again here. Well, the Switchbacks are making life difficult on them at the back. A nice incisive pass allows Among to further the attack. It goes through Moose's legs, and Among can play this towards McNulty. Brian Olowski in for Milan Olowski, who tried a clever little back heel, but it was cut out. Musa helps out as well, and Speedy Williams comes out with the ball for the Switchbacks.
But if you're Brian Olowski, that ball needs to be circulated out to Dogman because he makes a run over 30 yards.
Ball's won back. Milan Olowski. Lovely ball. It's Mark McNulty. Oh! Drags it wide. And I think the flag, yes, the flag may very well have been up anyway. Would not have counted. I wonder if that impacted it at all. But in the end, McNulty's missed the chance.
We talked about this run from Among, and what that does, that pulls Lacroix with him, and that opens up this gaping hole in the back end of things for McNulty. Yes, he's caught offside, but he should be hitting the target and finding the back of the net from about 9 yards out. You expect him to do better. But we talked about Thomas Among, the things that he does on the field, pulling players out of position, the selfless runs, and no bigger than that example right there.
Orange County made a substitution there. Brian Olowski comes out, and Andrew Fox comes on for the host with just under 20 minutes plus stoppage time left. Everything but the timing on Milan Olowski's ball was to perfection. And the offside flag denies McNulty, although again, he did miss the target. Orange County, and we're starting to get to that point with Colorado Springs. Both teams can sense it. The points are right there for the taking. Can someone seize the moment in this last section of the match? It's another Orange County throw on the far side. It's played quickly back in. Malik Foster helping out defensively, and he wins the ball back for Colorado Springs, but they kept it only for a moment. Orange County recycle the play. Lamb has space to work with. Plays in Mark McNulty. Flag stays down. McNulty chipping it across, and in the end, it's onto the roof of the net.
It needs to be better from McNulty once again. Does all the hard work. He rides the line extremely well, and that's when he breaks. The timing was to perfection between him and the entry ball. Once you get yourself in around that 18-yard box, it's all about composure, slowing things down, taking a deep breath, and just finding an orange jersey. It's 2 times now that's let him down. We talk about the movement from Morten Carlson going back into a 3-back system. You bring in Fox, so him, Powers, and Nakam are going to be your 3 center backs. Owen Lamb's going to press to this right wing back, position. Same as Dogman on the left-hand side.
Again, Malik Foster turns on the Jets here on the far side. Can he pick somebody out? His cross is blocked. It's going to be a corner for the Switchbacks on the far side. More good work from the substitute. And again, Stephen Hogan's boys with a chance here to create an opportunity.
He's injected a lot of energy, just a willingness to get in beyond this back line. I do think if you're Stephen Hogan, you're looking for a little bit more quality from the service. The quality of Jay Chapman, you expect him to put this ball into a very dangerous area.
Chapman plays it short to Foster. Foster plays into a dangerous area. Was there a handball in there? Both teams were looking for one. That didn't come in the end. It's Speedy Williams who's trying to shoot one. And it was headed away. Kept alive by Skundrich. Still not dealt with by Orange County on the edge of the penalty area. Switchbacks can still create something here. Romario Williams, Jay Chapman, Lacroix. It's going to be Malik Foster blocked on the edge of the penalty area. And then Foster tries to slice a ball through and the Orange County defense holds. It's out for a goal kick. Is out for a goal kick, and the stoppage here is also because the Switchbacks have 2 substitutes going to be coming on. Delence Pierre and Tyreek McGee are both going to come on. James Musa and Stephen Echeverria, who's been playing on a yellow card for a decent majority of the match, are both going to make way here. Both are Med-equip substitutions for the Irishman, Stephen Hogan, who has to sense that his team could steal this game. There's no question. It is up for grabs. There's Delence Pierre, who's come on to help with the defensive effort. Fresh legs there for the Switchbacks, and Tyreek McGee, certainly more of an attacking substitution.
So now you have Lacroix. He has that center back next to.
Orange County come the other way here. Early ball looking for Olaski. Cut out by Speedy Williams. 15 minutes of the 90 left. Here come the Switchbacks again. Switch of the play here. Lovely first touch by Beckford. Can he find some space here to Shane Beckford? It's clever as he tries to get to the penalty area, but it's well dealt with. Good challenge by Dylan Powers. Another opportunity, though, for Colorado Springs. In the end, Tyreek McGee not able to do too much with it, and now pushing a chase on the far side. Milan Olaski leads the break for Orange County. Tries to play in McNulty. It falls for McNulty, and then he falls down. Crowd looks for a free kick. McNulty's the only one who appeals. The Switchbacks come back the other way with McGee.
Just hasn't been as clean as Morten Carlson would like in that final third, doing everything right to get themselves in a very dangerous area, but breaks down time after time.
Oh, lovely ball in behind here. Shane Beckford for the Switchbacks. He cut it inside onto his right. That's where all the defenders were for Orange County, and his shot is blocked. Well, you could tell maybe there that Shane Beckford is right dominant there. If he goes onto his left, surely, Ricky, he's in.
It's all about decision making when you get yourself into that 18-yard box. Yes, you may be a bit least uncomfortable to pull the trigger, but the time and space is there and the real estate is there. You have to take it. Don't try to overcomplicate things.
Chapman on the far side. Switchbacks are still in position here to potentially pick up some huge points if they can win the match. Speedy Williams chipping one towards the penalty area. It falls for Romario Williams. Great block on the edge of the penalty area. Switchbacks keep it alive. It's Speedy Williams. In the end, sees it swerve wide of the goal as he hit it with the outside of his left boot.
There's opportunities to be had for the Switchbacks, getting more numbers higher up the field, picking up those second balls, those second opportunities. But you have to give credit to the back line of Orange County. That's 2 instances now. Last-ditch defending effort. First it was Knackham, then it's your Fox that comes in and denies Mario Williams a clear strike at goal.
Pressure from Beckford, trying to make life difficult again on Orange County, playing it out of the back, and McNulty is into no man's land nearly, but deals with it. This ball's threaded in behind. Switchbacks want the offside flag against Milanolowski, which does go up. And that ends the sequence. Milanolowski not happy with the referee's decision. Tough to tell live if he was onside or not. In the end, the assistant's ruling is final. In the end, the flag bails out the Switchbacks.
We talk about having balance. You have to be very careful not to overcommit yourself and leave yourself vulnerable going back the other way.
Here's McGee for Colorado Springs. Can he find some space? He plays in Speedy Williams. Williams gets it back to McGee. McGee for Foster. Foster tries to stay with it. It falls for Speedy Williams. Chapman playing it back for Lacroix. Pierre on the near side, the substitute. Goes all the way back for Matt Mahoney. And how big has that man been? Christian Herrera. Without him, the Switchbacks would not be in with a chance right now. There's no question about that. Here's McGee. Foster's in support, but he plays in Romario Williams, who tried a little dummy to let it thread through for Beckford, but it was well anticipated. And now McNulty looks to lead the break for Orange County. Among up ahead for Miloski. And Among tried to play in McNulty. It was cut out. Partita looks to pick up the pieces. In the end, he's slowed down by Chapman. Well, this threaded through for Milanolowski, who plays in McNulty, who tried to leave it. It nearly fell again for Milanolowski. McNulty goes down, and we play on with the Switchbacks again in possession. Now, this is a 0-0, and it's a very misleading scoreline. So many opportunities and chances for both teams. But still nothing to break the deadlock. Battle forward on the far side. Skundrich wins a throw-in for Colorado Springs. New Mexico have scored again, by the way, 3-1. They lead against Indy 11. A lot of Eastern Conference teams will be smiling, not so sure about the West, and certainly not the Switchbacks. They can change their fortunes here if they can find a last-minute winner. Foster gets a throw in here for Colorado Springs. If it holds, Orange County would go to 10 games unbeaten in the league, but be a second game in a row where they've dropped points. And drop points at home, no less. Here's Lacroix. Mahoney. Played to that near side initially by Skundrich, and now it's Chapman. Romario Williams leaves it for Speedy Williams. Beckford. Chapman tries to thread it through for Beckford, too tight of an angle. A good touch by McNulty allows him to get the ball into a safer position in the end for Orange County. Well, there's more pressure to deal with, but in the end, it's a nice pass by Powers. Orange County breaks through the press. Lamb for Among. Rides the challenge of Lacroix and Foster. And the ball played in behind his cutout. Do the Switchbacks have numbers here in transition? Foster hopes to make something happen again. He has an extra gear, and his cross into the middle is blocked. Trickles towards that far sideline, and it's going to go out for a Colorado Springs throw, and they get on with it quickly.
Just not on the same page at the moment, Malik Foster and Romario Williams. So many times Malik Foster gets himself in around that 18-yard box, tries to see the movement. Romario Williams peels off. Foster thinks he's going near post.
Seven minutes of the 90 left. Romario Williams trying to delicately play it in behind. It's cut out. Speedy Williams pinging one over to the far side. It's headed down for Malik Foster. McGee. Still McGee! Oh, magical! Absolutely magnificent from Tyreek McGee. What a finish! Tyreek McGee scores his third goal of the season, and the Switchbacks are in position here to not only steal the points, but to end Orange County's 9-game unbeaten run. It's a marvelous goal.
Every conversation I've had with Stephen Hogan this year, he's mentioned McGee. He's mentioned how magical that this young man is, the ability to create for himself. And we have not seen even the surface of what he can produce on game days. Says he does it in training. Now the challenge to him was having the productivity to score goals and score assists on Saturdays and Friday nights. A little drop of the shoulder around the corner and just unleashes a rocket, tattoos this thing. Head down, laces through the ball. Lopez never stands a chance. What a way to open up the goal scoring here on the road. The Switchbacks, 85th minute, 1-0.
Well, we don't have the other two goals that Tyreek McGee has scored this season in front of us, but surely that's the best of the bunch. And it could be the most important goal he's scored for this club so far. Switchbacks, or beg your pardon. Oh, no, it was a couple of switches, I should say, for Orange County. In the meantime, Among came off. So they're coming together right there. Nearly plays the Switchbacks. You know, it still might. Foster threaded through as the two changes come up onto your screen. It falls for Speedy Williams, and it's blocked wide and out for a corner. Beg your pardon, we were trying to keep track of the subs while the action was still going on. Brent Richards and Bryce Jamieson have come on, and the Switchbacks are looking for more.
Yeah, they smell blood in the water. You commit a lot of numbers forward. You talk about Stephen Hogan saying there's points on the tables. Let me just make these impact subs to change the game. Different look. Speedy Williams has a very good feel of where to be at the right time, right on top of that 18-yard box to pick up those scraps. You know, every dangerous set piece is going to be in favor of the Switchbacks here.
Owen Lamb and Thomas Among came off in the substitutions. This was the danger moments we talked about. Orange County never found the opening goal. Are they going to be punished for that? And are the Switchbacks about to do the double over Orange County? Against all the odds here. Now, at the moment, there is still 4 minutes plus stoppage time left. Orange County have time here. But at the moment, that puts the Switchbacks into 6th place in the West, in the live table. That's what it could mean. But Orange County are still coming. And the shot trickles in, and Christian Herrera, who cannot be forgotten in this game, the impact that he's made to give the Switchbacks this opportunity, has denied Bryce Jamieson.
Needs to be something special to beat Herrera on this night from that distance. Much like Beckford and Foster, Jamieson wants to be direct, wants to get in behind, and wants to stretch the opposition. You let him run, you let McNulty stay high and occupy the two center backs, and that's going to be a nice little balance the remainder of this match for Morton Carlson and the home side here.
Well, Matt Mahoney, he's slow to get up, but back up he comes for Colorado Springs. And while he goes to the touchline, we can tell you that USL is celebrating Hispanic Latino Heritage Month with stories, events, and more, bringing to life this special celebration across the league. Go to uslsoccer.com/Hispanic-heritage to learn more. Well, again, some of the fans here are stunned. I think there's no question about that. Morten Carlson's boys were so dominant in the first half. Felt like that was going to continue, and at times it has in this second half, but the Switchbacks have gained confidence from the fact that their defense is held up, mostly because of the great work from Christian Herrera, and now they're in position to steal the points. Can Orange County come back and save their unbeaten run? Challenge is deemed to be fair from Partita. Goal scorer McGee trying to get past him. Jamison plays in Richards on the near side. Ball is whipped in, and Herrera, in a little bit of traffic with McNulty lurking, is able to hold on to this. And the fans think that he is eating up the seconds here, but Herrera is able to get back up to his feet. Chapman helps it along as we approach the 90th minute. Orange County running out of time. Richards. Ball is speared forward. A little chest control. It's played in behind. Oh, just wide of the post. Great hold-up play, and the captain, Marcus Nakim, comes so close to equalizing.
Just mentioned it. You put McNulty high, and you let him occupy the two center backs, and it's all about the movement underneath him or beyond him. The center back, Nakim, gets himself into a very dangerous area, but as he's falling, does not have the ability to keep it on target. Christian Herrera's wrong-footed, doesn't even have a courtesy dive. And another golden opportunity that goes begging for Orange County here at home.
Oh, Christian Herrera, maybe for the first time tonight, beaten all ends up on that play. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck, and the Switchbacks get a dose of it there, but there's still 5 minutes left for Colorado Springs to hold on. Orange County are going to keep on pushing. Jamison heads it down, and a shot does come in. It's nowhere near the goal, and Herrera knew exactly where it was going. And that's wide of the post. As again, Ryan Dogman took aim for the hosts.
And he's been very good at getting himself into that final third and just providing a different look going forward for Orange County. But I think this time he just makes the wrong decision. Tries to swipe at it, just gets it all wrong. His balance was off, leaning back. That's why you see it go wide of the ball. The goal, excuse me.
The best of clearances there from Herrera. That goes for a throw. And the Switchbacks, we're told, are going to make a change here. Deshane Beckford, he's going to come off. And we're going to see the big forward, Aaron Wheeler, the ageless Aaron Wheeler, comes on. Continues to be making an impact in his career. The Switchbacks comes on to try and see this out. Certainly will be helpful for hold-up play if it does get to that point. Nearly 2 minutes through the 5 added on. The 9-game unbeaten run for Orange County in jeopardy. Richards throws it into the mixer. It's headed down. The goal scorer, McGee, turns and clears. Lopez gets the ball back for Orange County. Ball is service towards the penalty area. It's headed high and caught by Herrera. Still 3 minutes left, but the Switchbacks can hold on. This has to go down as one of their results of the season, considering where they were to start the night and where they could end up at the end of the weekend. If it holds, it could be crucial for their playoff hopes. Orange County still have a say in it here. It's headed down and towards the penalty area, and it's a great challenge by Matt Mahoney. Out it goes for a goal kick.
Just that long touch from Dogman gets him in trouble. Second time, he's found himself in a very good position of the field.
And Herrera, as the crowd is clapping here, has been booked for time wasting. Another SoCal Gas yellow card, 2 minutes left. A minimum of 5 added on. It's a yellow card that Herrera won't be worrying about if the scoreline stays the same when the final whistle goes. But it's going to be out for a Colorado Springs throw on the far side. Well, what also should be mentioned, Ricky, is that, again, Herrera was a big part of it, but the Switchbacks defense as a whole, that unit, came under a lot of fire, a lot of pressure in this game. They've kept, arguably, the best attack in the league scoreless for now. And that's what's allowed them to potentially steal the points, although that's a dangerous ball played back. Herrera was anticipating it. Plays it out of play for a throw. There's still a little over a minute left, but Orange County are running out of time here. That man has given the Switchbacks a chance. Tyreek McGee took an amazing goal in the end, and that's what's given Stephen Hogan's boys the platform to leave Irvine with all 3 points if they can hold on for the last 50 seconds. Here's Powers. Near side Richards, last chance saloon for Orange County. Milanilowski just about keeps it in for Powers. Powers clips it into the penalty area. It's headed on. And it's into no man's land from McNulty, who was looking for a foul. It's held by Herrera. Sent ahead by Herrera. 5 minutes are just about up here in Irvine. Sent ahead by Foster. And the final whistle goes. What a win for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. They dealt with the pressure, they handled the heat, and they cooled off the hottest team in the USL Championship. The Switchbacks end Orange County's 9-game unbeaten run with a stunner in Irvine tonight. Tyreek McGee's goal is enough for all 3 vital points. Christian Herrera's heroics not to be forgotten as well. And it goes down as a memorable win for Colorado Springs, who pulled off a season sweep of Orange County.
Just massive. Not an easy feat to come into this building against a team that's as hot as Orange County was. And you talk about managing moments, being clinical in both boxes. Herrera was fantastic between the sticks, but then you just asked for a little bit of individual brilliance. But you have to give credit to this back line of the Switchbacks. Box defending, positional defending, last-ditch defending effort was the name of the game, and then you let your special players on the attacking phase do what they do. Hats off to Stephen Hogan. Massive 3 points in their playoff hunt.
Orange County, but in such an amazing run in the Western Conference. It's so deep, and the Switchbacks put together an incredible performance tonight. Well, you guys voted at home, Orange County fans, and Owen Lamb goes down as the Uber Eats man of the match, in defeat, of course, because of the incredible Switchbacks' resilience. He certainly played his part, though, to Orange County's cause in a losing effort, and certainly Orange County will be able to bounce back from this.
And he has a lot of responsibility on the back end of things as players are approaching 2 goals and 1 assist on the year, but just has that quality to get himself in that final third. So look for him and this whole Orange County side to bounce back and have a reaction, because you know Martin Carlson is not happy with this result.
USL Championship After Dark on a Friday night delivers once again. Tyreek McGee wins it for the Switchbacks and ends the unbeaten run for Morton Carlson's Orange County. We'll wrap it up next on the other side of this break.
Every person has inherent existing potential. Each one of us can move better, feel better, and perform better. Our goal is to create a movement culture that facilitates thriving, challenges the norms, and optimizes the human experience by providing the highest quality physical therapy. Whether you're returning to sport or simply seeking to live your best life, reimagine physical therapy. Discover your potential.
Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez-Espin back here with you. What a victory for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Tyreek McGee and Christian Herrera, the heroes for Stephen Hogan's group tonight. And it is a huge road win for Colorado Springs that puts them up to 6th place in the Western Conference standings. Let's recap this one with the Turf Newport Beach full-time highlights. And Ricky, we pick things up just past the hour mark with Orange County doing what they did for most of the match, which is putting pressure on the Switchbacks defense.
It all starts with the movement on the back end of things from Brian Olowski, just the way that he leans into Echeverria. Yes, he invites the contact, but Echeverria needs to be better. There's no need to dive into that because you have players around you. And Brian Olowski steps up, and it's not the name of the game, Sean. Christian Herrera, he was spectacular between the sticks for the visitors here tonight.
One of his many crucial saves to keep the Switchbacks in with some hope during all of the Orange County attacks. And then in the 84th minute, after growing in confidence throughout the game, the Switchbacks pushed for their moment, and they found their moment.
And one of the keys coming into this match was having the balance on wide areas for the Switchbacks. Skundrich understands if I get myself into that final third, this backline's going to retreat. So I cut this ball back, and you give McGee, the substitute, the individual brilliance, the freedom to go where he sees fit. And what a fantastic goal to put the Switchbacks spot up on the road here. And then it's not clean enough in that final third for Orange County. You start to see the opportunities coming. McNulty, Knockham getting themselves in around that 18-yard box, and that's 2 yards to the right. It's 1-1.
Second game in a row, shockingly, that Orange County failed to find a goal in the end. And the Survey Law full-time match stats show you that Orange County were really in good shape to get a goal. It didn't come, and the Switchbacks score with their only shot on target of the night.
And I think it's going to be very interesting now for Orange County and Morton Carlson to see just what the reaction from their boys are. 2 games at home, you want to take all 3 points, and you don't. But now you're going at San Antonio on the 23rd, so that one's going to be massive for Orange County. But for Switchback, you talk about managing moments, you talk about coming into a hostile environment, a must-needed 3 points, and you do just that, and now you're sitting in 6th place in this Western Conference.
It's a huge win for Stephen Hogan's group. There's no question about it. To come to Orange County, end the 9-game unbeaten run, and beat the hottest team in the USL Championship. It took some doing, but Colorado Springs was able to pull it off tonight. Tyreek McGee's magical moment is the difference. Christian Herrera's saves set up a memorable night for Colorado Springs as they take down red-hot Orange County in Irvine tonight. For Ricky Lopez-Espin and our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques. We say so long from Irvine. Another twist in the Western Conference playoff push. The Switchbacks win it by a 0-0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.